Why did Helaena show Rhaenyra her final tapestry? House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode 8 explained. Warning: this video contains major spoilers for House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode 8, including Helena's visions, her final meeting with Rhaenyra, and the meaning behind her final tapestry. Helaena Targaryen's final meeting with Rhaenyra contains one of the most mysterious moments of House of the Dragon Season 3. Instead of simply telling Rhaenyra what she knows, Helaena shows her a final tapestry. Why? Was it a prophecy? A warning? A glimpse of the future? Or was Helaena trying to reveal something about her own fate? To understand the scene, we need to look at Helena's visions, her connection to Rhaenyra, and what this final tapestry could represent. Let's break it down. 1. Helaena has always communicated through symbols. Helaena has never communicated like the other Targaryens. Throughout the series, she makes strange comments that initially sound meaningless. She talks about insects, blood, threads, and images that later appear to have prophetic meaning. Helaena doesn't seem to experience the future like someone watching a complete story unfold. Instead, she appears to receive fragments, images, symbols, feelings, and strange pieces of information. That's why the tapestry matters. It gives Helaena another way to communicate. Instead of explaining the future in a long speech, she can show Rhaenyra something that may represent what she has already seen. 2. Why does Helaena show it to Rhaenyra? Rhaenyra has spent years fighting for the Iron Throne. She believes she is the rightful queen, while Aegon's supporters believe the opposite. But the war has become much bigger than the original dispute. Dragons have died, thousands of people have been killed, families have been destroyed, and the kingdom is becoming unstable. Helaena appears to understand that the dance isn't simply about deciding who wears the crown. It is destroying the Targaryen family. So when she shows Rhaenyra the tapestry, she may be communicating one devastating idea. The war has consequences far beyond the Iron Throne. Rhaenyra may win battles or even claim the capital, but the Targaryen dynasty can still lose almost everything. 3. Is the tapestry a prophecy? The strongest interpretation is that the tapestry represents Helena's visions. But the show does not necessarily tell us that every image has one confirmed meaning. Helena's visions have always been mysterious. If she simply showed Rhaenyra a complete map of everything that would happen, there would be no mystery left. Instead, the tapestry works like Helena's cryptic statements. She sees something, she presents it, and the people around her have to work out what it means. The uncertainty is part of the scene. 4. Why doesn't Helaena just tell Rhaenyra everything? If Helaena can see the future, why doesn't she simply tell Rhaenyra exactly what will happen? One possible explanation is that Helaena doesn't actually see the future in a complete and straightforward way. Her visions appear fragmented. She might see an event without understanding when it will happen. She might see a person without understanding their role. She might know that something terrible is coming without knowing how to prevent it. That could explain her strange language. Helaena may not be deliberately hiding information. She may simply be trying to translate something supernatural into ordinary language. 5. Helaena and Rhaenyra are more connected than they seem politically. Helaena and Rhaenyra are on opposite sides. Helaena is connected to the Greens through Aegon, while Rhaenyra leads the Blacks. Their families are literally fighting a civil war. But personally, neither woman created this conflict. Rhaenyra wants the throne because she believes it was promised to her. Helaena never wanted political power at all. Yet both become victims of the same war. That makes their meeting different from most green and black encounters. For a brief moment, they aren't simply enemies. They are two Targaryen women looking at the consequences of a conflict that has already destroyed so much. 6. Could the tapestry be a warning? One strong interpretation is that Helaena is warning Rhaenyra about what is coming. Rhaenyra is approaching one of the most dangerous stages of the dance. Her supporters are divided, her enemies are still fighting, and King's Landing is unstable. Helaena may understand that even if Rhaenyra succeeds, victory will not restore the world she wanted. The Targaryen family has already crossed a point of no return. The tapestry could therefore be Helena's way of telling Rhaenyra to look beyond the throne. Don't only think about winning, think about what this war will cost. Helaena may be forcing Rhaenyra to consider the price of victory. 7. Does the tapestry show Helena's own fate? This is where the scene becomes even more tragic. Helena's visions appear to connect not only to the future of the Targaryen family, but also to events surrounding her own life. By this point, Helaena has suffered enormous trauma and become increasingly isolated. So when she shows Rhaenyra the tapestry, one possibility is that she is also showing her something connected to her own fate. Perhaps Helaena already understands that her story is approaching its end, and that the future she sees cannot be escaped. If so, the tapestry becomes more than a warning. It becomes a kind of farewell. Helaena may be giving Rhaenyra one final opportunity to understand what she has been trying to communicate all along. 8. Is Helaena trying to change the future? Another possibility is that Helaena is trying to influence what happens next. But House of the Dragon presents prophecy as something complicated. Knowing the future does not necessarily mean you can change it. That could be what makes Helena's situation so tragic. She may see what is coming and warn people, but she still may not have the power to stop it. The tapestry could therefore be a warning without being a solution. Helaena can show Rhaenyra the future, but Rhaenyra still has to decide what to do with that knowledge. 9. Is it connected to the larger Targaryen prophecy? The tapestry can also be viewed alongside the larger prophetic storyline of the series. King Viserys believed that the Targaryen dynasty had an important role to play in protecting Westeros from a coming threat. Helaena seems to have a very different perspective. While Rhaenyra and Aegon focus on who should rule, Helaena appears to be looking beyond the immediate conflict. Her visions may point toward a future where the Targaryens are weaker, their dragons are disappearing, and the family is permanently changed. 10. What does the tapestry really mean? Ultimately, the tapestry can be interpreted as a symbol of fate, destruction, and the consequences of the Dance of the Dragons. It represents the deaths of the Targaryens, the destruction of their dragons, and the collapse of a family that is tearing itself apart. It also represents fate because Helaena appears to understand that some events may already be moving toward an unavoidable conclusion. The tapestry is therefore much more than artwork. It becomes a visual representation of the tragedy of the dance, a family fighting over a throne until the war destroys the very dynasty that everyone was trying to protect. Final thoughts. So, why did Helaena show Rhaenyra her final tapestry? The most likely explanation is that Helaena was trying to communicate something that words could not fully explain. Her visions have always come through strange phrases, symbols, and images. The tapestry appears to continue that pattern. By showing it to Rhaenyra, Helaena may be warning her about the future of House Targaryen and the terrible consequences of the dance. Helaena and Rhaenyra are supposed to be enemies. One is connected to the Greens, while the other leads the Blacks. Yet both women have suffered because of the same family conflict. For one brief moment, the political sides don't matter. They are simply two Targaryen women looking at the consequences of a war that has already destroyed so much. And perhaps that's why Helaena doesn't need a long speech. She simply shows Rhaenyra what she sees: the future, the destruction, the deaths, and the fate of the Targaryen family. The heartbreaking possibility is that Helaena already understands she cannot escape her destiny. She can see what is coming, she can warn others, but she can't necessarily stop it. That's the tragedy of Helena's gift. She can see the future, but she may not be able to change it. And the final tapestry may be her last attempt to make someone else understand what she has known all along. The Targaryens spent the entire dance fighting to control the future, but Helaena may be the one person who understands that the future was never truly theirs to control.